What is your American dream?
My American dream is to always feel that we can be ourselves and be accepted being different. That's my American dream, where we can finally embrace differences, accept differences, and include differences.
Well, of course, achieving American dreams would be to have a house, a car, but I already have all that. So now it's more like sort of leaving a legacy behind, and again, helping one another, getting to know more people, trying to do good.
This is my dream, to build this organization, to build as well a group for immigrant women and make everyone happy.
My American dream is to be able to write more. That's what I would like to do, and help my community.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It's Hump Day, Wednesday, January 15th. I am joined by Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias and Pizza. How are you? What's going on? You both looking very, very good for Hump Day today.
She makes me hungry.
Really?
Pizza.
I am.
I thought it was just because it was Hump Day, maybe. I didn't know. Come on, she's engaged now.
Wow.
Don't let her fiance come on.
He's busy.
I know. I'm not trying to get beat up.
Yeah, come on, man. All right, let's say hello. We got a lot to do, so let's say hello to Jessica Leamy, Joelle Reed. She's the first one to say hello on Facebook, and also the first one to share, as far as I am aware.
Awesome.
Deion Watson, squad up. Ali Boo Beecher, squad up. To Forbes, squad up. Carissa Bennett saying good night. Lisa Brumell, how are you? Bakare Pobby, squad up. Tamika Nelson, Mod Dukes, Andreen Spence, how are you? A guy by the name of Yonathan Elias in Capital, squad up.
That's me.
Chetty Manduri, how are you? Marjorie Thompson, I think I said already. Who else we see here? Marcia McCullough, squad up. Ma Duke, squad up. Javel Finnegan. Pizza is in the house. That's right. 30 minutes or less, delivered right to your door. All right, Donald Horton on YouTube. How are you? Tally. Marcine Frazier. Cindy Albert saying squad up. To Forbes, squad up. Max Santos. Alicia Henry, how are you? Juliet E with a question we'll get to in a little bit. Classic World also with a question. Jamela Russell saying hello. And she's an associate here at Spar Bernstein.
Yeah.
Danielle Kadalis, how are you? Kevin Lowe saying good night. Elisa Henry, happy Hump Day, Brad and team. The best law firm. I can't say it better than that. And of course, we are on Instagram. I say of course because sometimes we're not, sometimes we are. It's all kind of a little foggy every day.
But we're
wonky.
on there now, so
It's
that's
new.
all that
It's
matters.
a new adventure every day.
Maybe wonky whether or not we're on Instagram, but I gotta say hello to Smiles Photography who joined us, George's B, Nikki Summer 16, Henru, I'ma Be Me, and Cordella Douglas, squad up. She could be double fisting with a foot. Karen Padmore has joined. Bakari Hydrara says, squad, I'm up, I'm watching on YouTube. Bax Young, Facebook, Bakari Pobby, and here. So Bakari also double fisting with a foot. Pretty Cities 4 is joined. Yankee Fancy, how are you on Instagram? Danny Love, and She Loves Maxie saying hello.
Yeah.
All right, it's Hump Day. We got a lot to do.
Yeah, we do.
Is this your first Hump Day Pizza?
My first Hump Day. I'm honored.
You're honored.
I'm honored.
Little Caesars, hot and ready.
Always part of the planning behind the scenes, and you should hear us during pre-production meetings of things that we shout out to each other when, discussing these segments. But I've never experienced it in between you two.
Well, you are. Well, I don't want to get too dirty, but you're the cream between two sandwiches. You're like the Oreo cookie here, right?
Oh, God.
That everything sounds dirty on Hump Day, right? I'm just describing an Oreo cookie.
That's all you said.
That's all I did, right?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do while I stretch and get ready for Schmoozing with Brad.
Absolutely. Everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube, and everybody on Instagram Live. I need you guys all to join the Facebook fan pages. Brad Show Live on Facebook. Join that right now. We will accept it. You get a lot of great things you get when you become a member, a VIP member with that group. But the most important thing you get is the first 5 questions that we get for that day. You will get them answered no matter what, before we even ask any questions for social media check-in. So make sure you guys join that and ask any of your questions. Tell your friends and family to ask their questions on that page as well. Now also on Facebook, we need everybody to start sharing. We already heard Brad say that Jessica Leamy was the first, possibly the first, right?
I don't know, but I think so.
All right, well, let us know who the first one was, all right? But like, we want everybody else to follow the lead and start sharing. All you have to do is click the little arrow that says share. It's an arrow that's pointing to the right. Share it to anybody's page, share it to groups, share it in an inbox. You can create a group of friends in your inbox and share it to them all at once, okay? But when you guys share to them, I want you to tell them to share as well, all right? Let's try and do the ripple effect. I want you guys to be the hierarchy, the top of the food chain.
One last thing.
Yeah.
On YouTube, don't forget to share to the community tab. You can check ours out. We just shared. So if you go to our community tab, you click that video you see there and it brings you right here. And that is a great way to share our show with the rest of your friends that don't know us yet.
Absolutely, and of course, you cannot forget to subscribe. You saw that little graphic. It's a little red rectangle that says subscribe, and the little bell right next to it is for notifications. You get notified anytime, not only when we come on live, but when we actually upload a video. We upload little segments. Pizza actually does a lot of the editing for these little segments, so make sure you guys click that bell so you can get notified whenever we put them on the page. So also, everybody on any social media platform, we need you guys to put in your questions right now in all of the comment sections, okay? And last but not least, we need you guys to all click a thumbs up on YouTube. That makes us happy. It also shows that the video is actually good, we're informative, and what?
I have a question.
What's up?
How is this even possible?
What?
Cordella Douglas double fisting with a foot while at the gym working out.
That's right.
Well, how does she have even any
Very
arms?
possible.
How does she even have any arms or feet to work out?
She can do it all.
How is she doing all
Double
this?
fisting with the
Watches
foot.
every day.
How she's like hopping on one foot and exercising.
Like
What is she
Cordella.
doing?
Listen, that's
I
what
don't
the
know how
Brad
that's even
Squad
possible.
does. It's very possible.
How is that possible?
It does not
She
surprise
learns from
me.
the best.
Yeah.
It does not surprise me.
Alright.
Now, everybody on Instagram, we did not forget about you guys. You guys, we need you guys to DM this video right now. We're on Instagram Live, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I need you guys all to please DM the video to all of your friends. It's very easy. Just click that little arrow that's pointing to the right and send it to any of your friends and family, anybody that you think might need any help from the show. All right, it's time for 411 and some little naughty news.
Okay. Well, this is supposed to be before schmoozing. I had one more public service announcement. I'll do it after. We've been announcing all week, Yo-Yo and Pizza, that we were going to have a contest on Instagram.
Right.
The contest is now closed.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a new contest later. So if you're listening, later you'll find out what that contest is. And you're saying, what kind of contest? I love contests. Maybe you're saying that. Well, this is a very special contest. It's a contest to come meet me, Brad Bernstein, tell me all your problems, and I spit out a solution for you, or hopefully can, absolutely for free. It's called a free consultation. And what we asked people to do previously was follow Brad Show Live, like one of our posts, which was Schmoozing with Brad, talking about the Australian wildfires, and tag 5 of your friends in that post. I do not know how many people did it. It was not a lot. As of a few days ago, I didn't check recently, but as of a few days ago, it was about 10. I don't know where we are now, but as of 2 or 3 days ago, you had a 10% chance of winning a free consultation. Not a lot of people did it, which is shocking. Or they all waited for the last second. I'm not sure. But for those of you who did enter into the contest in about 45 minutes to an hour, after we take all of our telephone calls, we're going to pull out the Brad Show Live machine. This is the only machine we have in the entire office. 17 people have entered the contest for the free consultation.
Crazy. This is a free gift of gold.
Exactly. And we're going to pull out of our machine lucky winner of the contest for a free consultation with me. I just did a free consultation with somebody today who won last week by phone.
Nice.
They were in another country. They weren't even here in the United States. So we do it in other countries. You could be in other states. Or you could be physically here and come see me, however you want to do it.
I know who I would like to win, but even though I have no say,
you have no say in how it goes, and
But this person,
it's all luck.
I'm not gonna say who it is, but you guys need to go to that actual post and follow what this person, Rookie Glam, did. She didn't only tag her friends, but she did personal messages for each of them, telling them how much you need to follow Brad and how much assistance.
Well, that's amazing. I can't guarantee you that Rookie will win.
We can't.
And by the way, if
She's
she
my
does
favorite
win,
on there,
by the
though.
way, if she does win, they're going to say the fix was in. You realize that,
Right.
Yonathan?
Well,
but
they'll see us do it right.
But if
Rookie's
she
the
does
example.
win, I'll give her extra special.
There you go.
Extra special love.
There you go.
All right. So, and then after, if you do want to have a consultation with me, you could always call the number on the bottom. But if you want to enter into it, we're going to run another contest after we pull out of our machine.
Okay.
So keep listening. In the meantime, it says here that the United States is putting asylum seekers, people who come to the United States at the Mexican border, they're not getting an opportunity to apply for asylum because Donald Trump has put in a new executive order that says if your foot touches another country before you reach the border with the United States, you have to apply for asylum in that country first. So all of the people who are migrating from Central America all the way up to the border are now being turned back. And as of last week, 124 people who migrated somewhere from South America or Central America all the way up to the border from Mexico, whether in caravan or by themselves, left everything behind to escape violence. The United States unsuspectingly put them on an airplane, did not tell them where they were going, did not tell them how long of a flight they would have, did not give them any of their belongings or money or anything, and literally flew them to Guatemala, even though they may have absolutely nothing. Even though they may have absolutely nothing to do with Guatemala, and told them when they got off the plane, you have 72 hours to apply for political asylum in Guatemala or get out of Guatemala.
Right.
This is what we are now doing. Now, those who did not immediately apply, as I said, it says right here in my card, are told they must leave the country in 72 hours. Of the 100, it's not, I'm sorry, I said it was 124 people, it was 143 people.
Okay.
Mostly people from Honduras and El Salvador. Only 5 actually applied for asylum. The others left the country. I don't know if the others went home, but most likely what happened is they just made a circle right back to the border and they said, I'm not going to be so stupid this time.
Right.
I'm going to now try to cross the border and not apply for asylum and just enter the country without inspection. That's probably my guess of what happened. And this is all under the Asylum Cooperation Agreement between the United States and Guatemala. They say the United States is going to enter into this agreement with El Salvador and Honduras as well. In 2019, just as a little background, Guatemala was the largest source of migrants detained at the U.S. border, a total of 264,000 people.
Where do they go? Where do the people of the others? You said 5 applied. Where does everyone go?
They leave Guatemala, and my guess is, I mean, I don't know, I'm not there, but if I leave everything in my country to escape violence and come to America, and America flies me back a couple hundred miles south, am I going to go back to my country? Or am I going to just march back up to the border, but this time be a little smarter and say, you know what, I'm just going to dig a hole under the fence. I'm going to go to Home Depot and buy a saw for $100.
Right.
Remember we had that story? I'm going to figure out to live in Mexico for a little bit, make some money, and then pay a coyote to bring me across. I am sure there's plenty of smart people who will figure out very smart things, and they're going to outsmart the Department of Homeland Security. I think all they're doing is just causing more misery than they are solving a problem. In defense of Donald Trump, what he's trying to do is make somebody's life so miserable by coming to the border that your miserable life in another country is better than the misery you would get at the border at the United States. But my guess is that because if you make it across the border, at least in somebody's mind, that life will be much better in the United States, and you've got nothing to go back to, you've got no life to go back to, you're going to try again.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, it makes
Right.
sense.
Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin, you know that guy? Pizza?
Yes, we
You ever
do.
heure of him?
Oh, yeah.
Who's Vladimir Putin?
It's a big deal.
He's a big deal?
He's been in, I would say he's been in charge of Russia for basically as long as I can remember now.
I thought you were going to say he's the CEO of Little Caesars.
Little Caesars,
I
yes.
thought that's what you were
Yes.
going to say. No, he's not the CEO of Little Caesars.
I remember first seeing him with no shirt on that horse.
On the horse.
Yeah.
He is not the CEO of Little Caesars. He is the president of Russia. And as the president of Russia, which is not a full democracy, really, by any stretch of the imagination, they just changed the Constitution. And they said Vladimir Putin, who can't run for president anymore because that's what the Constitution says. It would be simple if they just changed it and just said, okay, you can run again for president. But no, they didn't do it that way because they wanted to make it seem like he's not really the dictator when in
Right.
fact he is.
Right.
So they changed the Constitution. They said, we're going to have the president's going to be a ceremonial position now. There's no more president. The prime minister of Russia is going to be the guy with all the power. And that's going to be voted on by the parliament. So the entire Russian government resigned, not because they were resigning in protest. They were resigning so Putin can then run for prime minister,
Oh my
be
God.
voted
they're
in,
in cahoots
and then
with him.
continue to run Russia.
Oh my
That is
God.
exactly
Been
what's
there since
happening.
what, like 2012?
Forever. It's not
Yeah.
like
So it's the continuation of Putin for indefinitely. Now, by taking steps to tighten his grip on power, Putin is sending a message to the world: I'm in charge, man. I'm in
That's
charge.
insane.
Right? So we also now know we're going to have an impeachment trial starting next week. We know who the impeachment managers are. For those of you who have been trapped under a rock, perhaps, were without internet service for the last 3 years, perhaps lived that Tom Cruise life on that island when he was talking to the soccer ball. What was that?
No,
what was that
you're
movie?
talking Tom Hanks.
Tom
Tom Hanks. What did I say?
Castaway. You said
Castaway.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Castaway. That's
Yes.
Tom Hanks.
Perhaps Tom Hanks on an island or Tom Cruise in an airplane, whatever.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. If you were lost somewhere, there's an impeachment going on, and it's now going to the Senate. The Senate is where the actual trial happens. Nancy Pelosi and the House of Representatives will be voting on sending the articles of impeachment over to the U.S. Senate this evening. They have elected 7 managers. The managers are like the district attorney, the prosecutor.
Okay.
Okay. The judge is the Supreme Court judge, Justice Roberts, and the jury are the 100 senators. We need a 2/3 majority to impeach Donald Trump and kick him out of office. Now, the managers, who also known as the prosecutors, are other congressmen. Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler, Representatives Hakeem Jeffries, Val Demings, Zoe Lofgren, Jason Crow, and Sylvia Garcia. So that's what we are expecting, and we are expecting the impeachment to start on Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Yes. What else?
The new episode of Days of Our Lives
Yes.
in the United States.
Exactly.
So popular.
So what do you think of this Harry and Meghan thing, guys?
kind of feel them.
So I've been, okay, at first I was like, oh gosh, she went in there and she kind of messed it up for everybody, for all the black people, out
I
there.
think
But then I was reading a lot, and racism is really big out there, and it's like, you're a new mother as well. Of course, you're living this whole princess life, but when you have constantly people are constantly saying racial slurs to you, and that's your life, it kind of sucks.
It's
So
also one thing
I
to
get
be
it.
called a princess, right? Than to what is being a princess?
I get it, okay? But you also had to know, and I agree with you about all the racial things, how they treat William's wife different
Way different.
than Meghan.
And they even treat them different.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, yeah.
But you have to realize, as a black woman who's breaking barriers, that wouldn't you have to expect some of this to be? You know,
I totally get that.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I mean, I think of Jackie Robinson. You know who Jackie Robinson was? He was the first black baseball player in the major leagues. He was called Monkey. He was called Gorilla. He had beer cans thrown at him. And you want to know what? He's a national hero now. So at some point, you know, Meghan, to me, and listen, I don't have black skin, so I don't live it.
Right.
Okay, so, you know, it's easy for me to say as a white guy to put myself in her shoes.
Right.
So it's kind of, you know, not legitimate for me to give an opinion on it. But from my perspective, you gotta have to have expected it. You had to have known that you were going to be under the microscope. Certainly, you're under the microscope as being the wife of Prince Harry, and in addition to be the first black member of the royal family. You had to have known what you were getting into, and then 1 year to say, I'm just walking away from it. And poor Harry.
Right, because
poor Harry. I mean, he's royal. He gave up royalty.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it's like almost like this woman screwing with his head. So in a way, you know what I'm saying?
I will say, I've never really trusted Meghan. It was something about her that I just.
Although I get the racism thing.
Yeah,
I get it.
So that's the only thing. Like, even though I don't trust her, I feel like, you know, she knew exactly what she was doing when she got with a prince. But there's one thing to expect something and actually live through it. You know, I think just because the UK knew that she expected that she was gonna get this type of treatment, so they went above and beyond to go. And like, we don't even know half the stuff that probably is going on.
Yeah, and by the way, I blame the Queen, because where was the royal family sticking up for Meghan? I mean, I'm not saying that what happened to her was anywhere fair. It was very unfair. But what I'm saying, because the family didn't stick up for her, that's for sure.
I mean, that means that they didn't want her there in the first place.
Well, then they should have spoken up to Harry before they got married and said to Harry, you know what, it's us or her. All right, but that didn't happen. They probably
was scared to lose Harry, because we know Harry is a wild guy.
But that didn't happen. Didn't happen. Now, Truth Serum says she's not the first black in the royal family. I don't know. I'm not an expert in the royal family.
Well, the thing is, even Queen Elizabeth has showed her. There's many paintings of like different royal family members, and when she was showing her the painting, she was like, she actually was mixed with black. He was actually mixed with black, and like that's when we all found out like there were actual people that were mixed with black in the royal family. And I do agree with who was it? I just saw Don Harriet saying he's doing everything to please her, and she took the advantage. I believe that.
Wasn't it Queen Elizabeth's dad though who did just this? If it wasn't for him deciding to step away from the royal family, she wouldn't be who she is.
No, it was Queen Elizabeth's uncle.
Now,
uncle, okay.
Yeah. He stepped away, and
a lot of people. A lot of people stepped away over
Okay.
time, but I just think she's kind of screwing with his head. Now, in a statement from Queen Elizabeth, she says, "My family and I are entirely supportive of Harry and Meghan's desire to create a new life as a young family. Although we have preferred them to remain full-time working members of the royal family, we respect and understand their wish to live a more independent life as a family while remaining a valued part of my family." And she continued that it has therefore been agreed that there will be a period of transition in which the Sussexes will spend time in Canada and the United Kingdom. These are complex matters for my family to resolve, and there is some more work to be done, but I've asked for final decision to be reached in the coming days.
They definitely wasn't coming to the United States. That's for damn sure.
So, what do you think? Do you think they'll be back? They'll give it a go for a little bit,
well,
and
this
then
is the thing. I mean,
how are they going to make money?
That's what. So Meghan actually got a Disney deal for doing voiceovers, and it's funny. There's a video with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry meeting Jay-Z and Beyonce that went viral, but nobody really noticed because everybody was looking at Beyonce and Meghan Markle talking, but nobody really noticed that Prince Harry was actually talking to. I believe that's what it said on the video, that it was Disney's like CEO, and he was saying, yeah, Meghan actually does voiceovers, and he was like actually selling his wife. This was like last year.
Really?
Yeah.
So they had this planned, you think, a little bit?
I don't know about that.
Right.
But Prince Harry did get
He got a job offer at Burger King.
Right.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Because I don't know, this guy is qualified to do absolutely nothing. So Burger King in Canada, it's a true story. Burger King offered Prince Harry a job at the home of the Whopper, It said they put out on social media, Burger King, if you're looking for a job, we have a new crowd for you. We have a proposition for you. Do as thousands of people and take your first steps in the world of work with us. You know that the crown will suit you perfectly.
There we go.
All right. So,
Harry right
so
there.
you can imagine you live in Toronto or Vancouver or
That's
Montreal.
ridiculous.
And you just where are they going to be living in Canada? We don't even know what city, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's where they met.
Is it?
They were on a vacation and they met with friends there. Maybe they have roots
Interesting.
there. Yes.
And then finally, before we get to our hump day, the Oscars.
Yeah.
Do you have any opinions on this?
Yes.
You do?
Many women and people of color were snubbed.
Yeah, so the front runners for the Oscar nominations was Martin Scorsese's The Irishman, Todd Phillips' The Joker. I hated that movie. Sam Mendes, 1917. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino. I was told it wasn't good. I haven't seen it yet.
I loved it.
Bong Joon-ho's Parasite, which everyone says is amazing.
Was great.
All 5 talented male directors. And as far as I am aware, other than Bong Joon-ho, nobody is
Of color.
Now, let me tell you who was snubbed. My favorite movie of the year was snubbed. Dolomite Is My Name.
I knew you were going to say
my
that.
favorite. I loved it.
Look at him.
I
He
loved
killed
it. It was amazing. I
Yeah.
loved it.
It's a great
so he
comeback.
was snubbed. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, me too.
Lupita Nyong'o for her performance in Jordan Peele's horror film Us.
I want you to look at this. She played 2 different roles in this
didn't
movie.
realize that.
She played 2 different roles in this movie, and she got snubbed.
Was it scary?
Oh yeah.
It's a thriller. It's not really
scary.
scary. You're probably scared.
I get scared of all of those
No,
things.
this is
Things
a
that
thriller.
can be
I would
real.
watch it. Watch it. It's
Yeah,
a thriller.
I get scared of those things. Like if people are jumping out at you and like
yeah, it's a little bit of
you know, like
of
that's
that.
why I didn't go to the Halloween thing in Pennsylvania.
God.
I didn't want anybody jumping out at me.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
I
it was
hate
a great
that.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awkwafina in Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah,
She was supposed to have won not for Crazy Rich Asians but the Farewell.
right.
And she won for Farewell in at not the Grammys, the Golden Globes.
Golden Globes,
yeah.
yeah.
So what do you think?
I feel like this is a repeat in history. Like, you know, I feel like it's beating a dead horse. Yeah, we're always going to have this type of situation. I think that they'll have like one random year where they give off just a bunch of awards to people of color and be like, hey, this is your year. Now don't say nothing else for the next 10.
But now I'm going to tell you something. Next year, I guarantee you, there's going to be a lot of people of color. Next year's a big year. Why? Because the internet was going crazy this year.
But the internet goes crazy every year.
It was going especially crazy this year. One tweet said, I don't know what, I guess there's a picture that goes with this. Me showing up at the Academy doors, waiting for an explanation as to why Spirit by Beyonce was snubbed. Is there a picture of it?
Yes, it's with Jordan Woods at a red table.
I don't. We don't have that.
They have a
Where is
bunch
that?
of tweets and like funny, like real funny gifs and videos.
Well, trust me. Okay, trust me. You would laugh if we actually had it. Okay.
No, this is Meryl Streep screaming.
This is Meryl Streep. I don't even have this tweet.
One.
That's a different one.
It says ABC realizing
now have
ABC
realizing they now have an Oscar broadcast now with no J-Lo, no Beyonce, no Eddie, no host, and hashtag Oscars so white. And that King tweet, number 1, Stephen King, he weighed in. He said, for me, the diversity issue, as it applies to individual and actors and directors, did not come up. That said, I would never consider diversity in matters of art, only quality. It seems to me that to do otherwise would be wrong. Wow.
He is a fool.
Wow.
That's conflicting.
How politically incorrect can you be, and
Well,
insensitive as well?
Exactly.
And let me tell you something, because you can't
He's a
say that
fool
you
for that.
no, because you can't say that no woman or nobody
Right.
of color deserved anything.
Well, a woman and someone of color
Deserve nothing.
who is a director, Ava DuVernay, had responded to him.
Okay, so what she says? She says when you wake up. She says when you wake up, meditate, stretch, reach for your phone to check on the world, and see a tweet from someone you admire that is so backward and ignorant you want to go back to bed.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
See, that was a classy read.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So other tweet says you can't be diverse just to be diverse, wrote one user. And then somebody responded, films created by people of color, irrespective of quality, constantly get overlooked by institutions that are predominantly comprised of white men, which is true.
Yeah.
Which is true. You see, the thing is this. Okay, if you say that based on the percentages, there's a percentage of black directors, a percentage of black performers. Okay, that should mirror at least the percentages of our population in general. I would assume it should be, but maybe it doesn't. But certainly the awards should, if it's done fairly, should kind of mimic or certainly reflect what we have here in America. It shouldn't be white.
I agree.
And I'll give you a perfect example of this. Because if you really do it blind, and I'm not patting myself on the back by any stretch of the imagination, we hire here blind.
Right.
Okay? And everybody who comes in is like amazed at my law firm at the diversity that's here. And they're like, how did you do this? And I said, I did it just by hiring the best person. And it just happened that this is what we got.
Yep.
We didn't do it in any other way. And I think if you look at it blindly, you wouldn't have these situations.
Yeah,
That's
agreed.
my opinion.
Agreed.
You're right.
And now King,
Responded
King,
back.
He had a final say in this. I don't know what he said. Let's see. He said the most important thing we can do as artists and creative people is make sure everyone has the same fair shot, regardless of sex, color, or orientation. Right now, such people are badly underrepresented, and not only in the arts. You can't win awards if you're shut out of the game, he concluded. So I guess he backtracked. Is that a backtrack?
Unless, did he not mean
Is that a
the way we
backtrack?
took it at first?
He got a lot of flack for
Yeah.
that. So of course he had to say something like that. But
Yeah. All right, because other than
Could've
that,
kept
nobody's
that
going to come
tweet.
to his movies.
Yeah.
Right, he'll turn into Woody Allen.
Of course people are
Right.
going to go to his movies. We have way more racist people in this world than
They don't care.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to Stephen King movies anymore.
I ain't either.
You want to know why? For two reasons. One, he's a racist, and two, I don't like scary movies.
Oh
Okay,
gosh.
fair.
See,
All right, and Jimmy
you're
says
not
don't
even
call him a
losing out.
racist. All right, he's not a racist, but he's not a
He's
racist.
insensitive to-
Insensitive.
yes, to
Insensitive.
certain racial issues. I would
Yes,
say.
that is a better. I
Yes.
take it back,
As
Steve.
many are, yeah.
All right. So with that,
Uh-oh, let him out.
let him out. We have some camels. There we are.
There you go.
It's hump day. We have no
It's
sound. The
hump
camels
day.
are not talking today.
Yeah.
The camels. Oh, they are talking. The camels.
It's hump day.
Oh, they're still out.
All right, let's see what we got here. So,
Hump day.
all right, camels, enough. Camels, get out of here, camels. All right, so what is this? Billionaire. All right, this is good for all the Brad Squad women out there.
Okay.
Billionaire Yusuke Miyazawa. He's looking for a female life partner. He's a billionaire. Okay, listen closely, ladies. But there's one catch. You got to take a trip with him to the moon. Japanese billionaire Yusuke Miyazawa is going to fly on SpaceX's first tourist voyage to the moon. He's going to be the first private passenger to ever go to the moon.
Wow.
And he's looking for someone to share that experience with him, specifically a woman. He's not married. Miyazawa tweeted Sunday asking which woman would want to go to the moon with him on the trip slated for 2023. And the reason Miyazawa is looking to find his life partner. He says, I'm 44 years old now. As feelings of loneliness and emptiness slowly begin to surge upon me, there's one thing that I could think about, continuing to love only one woman.
That
now,
actually would be an amazing reality show.
Now, let me say
Looking for
this.
love.
You know, I don't think he's looking for love as much as he's looking for some gold diggers. What do you think of that one?
Okay.
Because anybody who sees this says, you know what? Billionaire looking for love. I'm in love with you. You're a billionaire. I'd love to go on trips all over the world,
But
right?
the caveat is the
Or
moon
outside of the
situation. I think that would be, for all gold diggers, I think that may be a game.
No, just
That's
there's
a game
lot.
changer,
Yeah,
too.
There's
to
a lot
go
of
to the
there's a lot of
moon?
fearless
You have
gold
to-
diggers.
Wait, and
You
is
have
there a
to-
guaranteed comeback? Like,
There's
can
a, you're
do we know
guaranteed
you will
to, you're
return?
guaranteed to come back. You're
Is there a
guaranteed.
guaranteed land?
You know what? You know what? You're guaranteed to come back, and you're guaranteed to come back a billionaire. You know, there's a lot of
Okay.
people who would take that risk.
Okay.
You have to
For-
be. You have
I don't think
Yeah.
that's. I don't think that's love. I think he's just asking for somebody to marry him for money. That's to me. You know, That's what it looks like to me. But those who are interested, who do want to fall in love,
Holla at your boy.
Anyone.
okay, they can apply at mz.abima.tv/en.html. And the deadline is this Friday. You got 2 more days if you want to fall in love. All right, now, who's Tyson Fury? Who's Tyson Fury? He's a boxer. Tyson Fury, he's a boxer. This is gross. Do I
Yeah.
even need to know this?
I mean,
Do I even need to know this? Is this too much information?
is this something most
now,
men
now
do?
Julie's whispering in my ear. I find this very interesting. All right. If she finds it interesting, I'll talk about it then. Tyson Fury, he is getting prepared for his rematch with Deontay Wilder in a boxing match, or is this a UFC match? I'm not sure if it's a UFC or a boxing. I don't really follow. It's boxing. Okay. He says getting ready for his match, he's masturbating 7 times a day, Yonathan.
That is insane.
Yes.
What?
He says if you've seen a single film in the Rocky franchise, then you know that boxers can have some truly bizarre ways of preparing for their opponent. In the 1976 film, Rocky Balboa went and beat up some meat in a freezer.
true.
But apparently this guy is going into his bed and beating the meat 7 times a day. He has held the WBC heavyweight title since 2015. Now, I will say that if he does win, and I were to bump into him, you know, you would say, hey, there he is, the champ. Let me give him a high five. I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. Let's watch.
I'm masturbating 7 times a day. 7 times.
Keep me testosterone pumping. Pump it up, don't you know?
Oh, my God. So Fury also said he's uneasy about sparring in fear of opening up the over his right eye, a wound over his right eye that required 47 stitches.
Jeez.
In his first bout in December of 2018, Fury and Wilder finished with a controversial split decision. Do you think, why doesn't he just get a woman or
I
a
have
man or
question
whatever
for
he's
you
into?
two men.
Right? Why does he need to masturbate?
Aren't there like, as athletes, as former athletes or as current athletes, I remember hearing coaches advise players in high school and college, do not do anything sexually oriented the night before a game or a match because that could hinder your.
Well, I guess it's just he's very anxious.
Okay.
All right, and I
says it
can
gets
I
the
can I can
testosterone
tell you
pumping.
I can tell you from a man. There's never been a man who's never masturbated in his life. That would be they'd be a liar. Okay. Sometimes it relieves tension. I guess, right?
No, it does.
7
for
times.
sure.
7 times a day.
It's a lot of work.
Is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. He might. I don't know how much I believe in it because it looked like he was kind of like joking and being sarcastic.
Now, Yo-Yo, do you do that 7 times a day before you get
Absolutely
live on
not.
Bradshaw Live
Absolutely not.
to relieve some of that tension?
No. No.
Yo-Yo's like, it's only 6 times. I'm going live on Bradshaw
6.5.
Live soon. All right.
hours.
Poor man.
J. Roberts said he's gonna lose.
I'm gonna tell you something.
See?
I mean, talking about you see the all the ads. I'm just thinking like World Wrestling Raw. I'm like, this is really
Right.
this is really raw. So meanwhile, the National Health Service has revealed in England that broken penis cases are now at a record high.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a 38% increase in broken penises between 2015 and now. That is right. It's an injury that many men dread, but new statistics have revealed that a record number of men suffered snapped penises this year. Now, there's no penis bone, but it can break if violently twisted. Now, the National Health Services in England explained that there are no bones in the penis, but the tubes that fill with blood during a, oh God, this hurts me thinking about
and I'm
this.
not, I don't
You
even have
have
one now.
a penis
Oh my God.
Okay. Now, 164 men were treated for, I can't even read what happens.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
All right, 164 men were treated with snap penises last year. About a third of all cases caused during rough sex, especially when the partner was on top, when the woman was on top, and the woman was riding a little too hard, maybe.
Okay.
She was like,
Bouncing.
giddy up, partner.
Okay.
Right? And then he's like, yeah, giddy up. Ah!
That must be like a very.
It said that the breakage usually occurs when a man's penis slips out of his partner and his,
just
and
sits on it.
bends.
Okay.
Yeah, I get
All
it.
right.
I get it.
I can't even read it. I
get
can't even read this anymore.
It's like over,
We got it.
I'll be on top for the next few months as I think about this.
I'm very careful upon landing.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right. So now escorts now don't have problems with makeup anymore.
Oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, one of the biggest problems that prostitutes have had throughout the history of their careers, I've been told, I don't know if I've been told this, but I've been read about this, or I've been whatever, is that their makeup runs between customer to customer.
Right.
Okay, then when they're done with one customer and they got to get to the next customer, they got to clean their face and then put on a whole new set of makeup.
Okay.
Well, now there's a makeup company that has solved the problem. The prostitute doesn't even have to clean themselves up anymore. They can just go from customer to customer without ever having to clean
And that's
themselves
the
up
creator?
anymore. This
My
is the
God.
creator, yeah.
Sheesh.
It's called Ho Cosmetics. I can't make this
I
up.
like that.
Ho Cosmetics.
H-E-A-U-X. Okay.
And it's makeup of gels, powders, and pastes. And what the company says is that a lot of makeups claim that they're long wearing and you might be able to get through a cocktail with them, but not a hot shower. When someone books an overnight appointment with you, they expect you to still be hot in the morning. That is completely unrealistic. So now the makeup stays on all night. So I guess it's not a situation where they're going from customer to customer. It's more of a situation that after they did the dirty deed, okay, after the woman got on top and said, "Giddy up, cowboy," and then they went to take a hot shower after and did a little more in the shower, and then they go to sleep
still looking
with
good.
a cake full of makeup all over her.
Still looking
Still
good.
looking fresh in the
Okay.
morning.
Listen, it's a lucrative
That's
business.
better than
Yeah.
not being fresh for number two. In
But I
line.
think the funniest thing is that it's called Ho Makeup.
Yes.
I love how it's spelled. I think it's very, very cool.
So the person who started this is a prostitute, Lydia Duprat, who got into a new business. She's very very enterprising lady, and she
Great way
once
to
she
turn
said
their
she
life
once
around.
lost out on a fortune when a billionaire showed up at her door, showed her the door, said, "Get out, ho." Because that's what he said.
Okay.
Because of her perfume.
Oh
He
my
was
God.
absolutely beyond wealthy, but he was allergic to the perfume, she says. "I forgot, and when I met him, he started wheezing, sneezing, and coughing, and he never called me again." So she came up with this idea
Damn.
of perfume-free, allergic-free makeup that stays on no matter what happens between you and
Smart
your
girl.
customer.
I like
Smart
that.
girl.
All right, Sharon Stone is on Bumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
was.
Golden Globe winning actress Sharon Stone. By the way, I remember the first time I saw Sharon Stone in that movie Basic Instinct. I was a teenager at the time.
I'm sure you wish she was on Bumble at that
I
time.
was a teenager at the time. I will never forget this. And I was in Florida. This is how I remember this. With one of my friends. And then we'll get to stop. I can't even tell her name now. I'm getting all sweaty
Right.
thinking about it. Sharon Stone on Bumble. And I was in a movie theater in Florida with one of my friends. We went to see Basic Instinct with Michael Douglas. And there's a famous scene where she's being interrogated by Michael Douglas, who's the cop, and she spreads open her legs as she moves her leg from one to the other. And Michael Douglas and whoever the fat guy next to him was like sweating to death. So I'm like, I must be a 16-year-old boy. I must be a 16-year-old boy. And I'm sitting next to my friend who's also 16 years old.
Oh, God.
And we're in the movie theater watching this. And after that scene, I remember I turned to my friend. I said, "That's it. I can't watch this movie with you anymore. I cannot sit next to you and watch this movie."
over.
And I got up, game over, and I went up and waited outside with some popcorn. But I could not sit next to another 16-year-old boy as I watched that scene. So meanwhile, now 40 years later and 35 years later, she's on Bumble.
Yeah.
And still hot. Still love her.
So what happened was, is though when people saw her on Bumble, they complained and said somebody's making pretend they're Sharon Stone when they're not. So she was kicked off of Bumble
Right.
as an imposter. But it turns out it was really her. She went on at Bumble. She tweeted, "I went on at Bumble dating site and they closed my account. They said it couldn't possibly be me." She said, "Hey, at Bumble is being me exclusionary? Don't shut me out of the hive." Can you imagine you like come across Sharon Stone?
That's crazy.
I would have right swiped her, even though she's about 13 or 14 years
You
older
would've
than
right-
me.
Of course you would have right swiped
Just to go on a
her.
date
Oh
with
my
her? Why not?
God.
Right.
I will. It doesn't matter. I like older
doesn't
women.
matter.
Yeah. I like younger women. I like older
Yeah.
women.
You
You know
all
what?
women.
I like
perfect,
women.
yeah.
So I
There we go.
would have because that scene is
Always in
White
it
dress, I
always in
remember
my
everything
head.
too.
I'll never
You
I walked
second
out-
guessed her, like, you wouldn't have second guessed the account and said, hey, this is.
I don't know. I would have
It's
had
a
to have seen
catfish?
it. I would have had to have seen it. Maybe I would have thought it was a catfish. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Now this. If I don't know. I don't know about this one. Yo-yo. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I've
You know
heard
her.
Yes.
She's coming out with a new scented candle. The candle is called "This Smells Like My Vagina." Yes,
Okay.
you can now buy a candle that smells exactly like Gwyneth Paltrow's
her vagina, okay.
You could sit next to your bath, take a nice bubble bath, and have the nice whiffs of Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina
That is wild.
permeate through your entire bathroom.
That is wild.
Now, according to Goop, the idea came straight from Gwyneth Paltrow herself. It all started as a joke between Paltrow and her heretic perfumer, Douglas Little, with whom she frequently collaborates on scents. Now, how did this Douglas Little? How did he? Because he's the one who comes up with the scent.
Right. So
Did he have to like, you know, he would have to, she would have had to have been spread open and smelling her
Right.
for days on end until they got the exact smell.
Do you think it's really her?
What is that even?
Absolutely.
How does she even know what her own vagina
Yes.
smells like so well?
Well, Gwyneth Paltrow is so full of herself that she thinks that her vagina smells better than anybody else's vagina in the entire world, and people would want to smell it no matter where they are. I mean, that's how full of herself she is, right? If you think about it.
I don't see anything wrong
Yes.
with being full of yourself.
Yes.
Though. Self-love.
By the way, Bradshaw Live will be selling our own Bradshaw Live candle.
Mm-hmm.
It's called "This Smells Like Yo-Yo's Ass." anybody
smell good.
anybody who wants to buy "This Smells
No
Like
less
Yo-Yo's
legitimate,
Ass"
no less
will
legitimate,
be
right.
selling it in the Bradshaw Live
It
Instagram
better
account.
sell out.
There you go. Come on.
Can you imagine how full
No,
of
we're
yourself?
gonna
Can you
mean-
imagine how full of yourself you are that you think that somebody wants to smell your vagina?
That's
Smells like my
crazy.
vagina.
Yeah.
That's wild.
All right. What else we got? Finally,
Yes.
we got to get to our
Yes, we
immigration
do.
questions. There's a duck, and it's been traumatized after its penis was removed to stop having it from having sex. A UK, of course, this always happens in the UK. Why does the UK have like
They're very horny
They're the
animals.
horniest animals, the horniest people, the craziest stories come from the UK. Is it me
Right.
or no? So a UK-based duck was forced to have his penis surgically removed after it became infected due to his insatiable sex drive. Dave the duck reportedly engaged in foul play with flocks of lady ducks on a regular basis. Dave's owner, Josh Watson, said his nymphomaniac pet would mate with his friends' companions, Dora, Edith, and Freda, between
Okay.
5 to 10 times a day. Now, apparently, the duck got the idea after reading that the boxer masturbates 7 times a
Right.
day. That boxer will also shortly be having his. No, he won't have his penis removed. Unfortunately, the horny duck paid the ultimate price for his sexual activities. His penis was infected with gangrene.
Oh.
Ew.
I wonder if you can get gangrene from masturbating 7 times a day. Is that possible?
If you're
I don't
dirt.
think so.
Is that possible? Jilly says no, that's not possible. That's what parents tell you, so you stop masturbating.
Right.
But what if you were boxing all day and between taking breaks, instead of going for a water break, you would go for a masturbation break without showering with your sweaty palms? Would that get you gangrene, Jilly?
Like, how the, you know,
I don't know.
It's a deadly flesh-eating bacteria, gangrene. Oh my god.
Now apparently, according to this duck who had gangrene from having sex, the duck's okay, but now can no longer have sex.
I know, he's
They've
mad.
lopped it
So he's
off.
not okay,
He
yeah.
is very angry.
Dave is mad.
So now, and by the way, I was also told this is a fun fact. Ducks do not urinate out of their penises, so we can still go to the bathroom. Apparently.
Where do they urinate at?
I don't know. So I am not a duck expert. This is what I'm told in my
I'm
ear.
not a duck
All
expert.
right. Now, what happens is, unfortunately, the duck still is going to try to hump. You know, like when the dog gets neutered.
course.
You know, when a dog gets neutered, you know, they still try to hump the female dog, even
hump
though they're neutered. This duck is still going to be humping away. Just won't be able to have no relief for that poor duck. That's all the news from Hump Day, Yo-Yo.
A lot of news.
That's a lot of news.
It's okay.
Yes, we have a masturbating boxer. We have a candle that smells like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. We have a duck who got his penis lopped off. Lots of Hump Day news today.
It's a lot.
That's a lot for me to handle.
A lot to take in.
That's a lot to take in. Let's do some immigration. Tell them what they need to do.
You forgot the broken piece.
All right, everybody. No, we didn't forget about that. Everybody on Facebook, it's time to start your watch parties. All you have to do is click share. An option down will say start your watch party. Click start. It'll take our video from our page to your page. You are the host. I want you guys to invite friends and family into that. You can add them into the comment section. Tell them about the show. Tell them to come into the main show, the main page, and also put in their questions as well. And what are we gonna do on YouTube?
On YouTube, there's a few things we're gonna do. First thing, of course, hit that thumbs up. If it's still gray, turn it blue. Come on, guys, if you've been watching, turn that thumb blue. Of course, always share this link to any of your social profiles. YouTube gives you the ability to share to WhatsApp, to share to basically every profile out there. Spread the love beyond YouTube. And don't forget, share this link to your community tab so it'll be saved there forever. You can go back, rewatch, and you spread to all of your friends who have yet to know who we are.
And on Instagram Live, if you guys are watching, if you're not watching, why don't you go and log on to Instagram Live on Brad Show Live's page, and all you have to do is DM it to any of your friends and family. Just actually click that little rectangle, no, it's a triangle. A little triangle that's pointing to the right, send it to a DM, send about 5 or 10 DMs, all right? Let's give you a little bbit of homework.
By the way, Michael Giddens started a watch party. Tamika Nelson also started a watch party. 2 people. Dos Equis.
That you know of.
That I know of.
Yes. All right, guys, now it's time for the next segment. This is where you guys call in and get your immigration questions answered. We're getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, Maxwell, been waiting a while. Maxwell, how are you? In Indianapolis, Indiana.
Hello,
Maxwell. How are you?
Hello.
How you doing?
Thanks. How are you doing today, sir?
What's going on?
I'm pretty good. So my question is, last year, July 18, 2019.
Yes.
Myself and my wife went for a USCIS interview in Indianapolis downtown. You know, the interview went well, and the officer said, "Hey, I'm gonna, push you guys to be approved." But since July, 2019 till now, we didn't hear anything back from USCIS.
It's been about 6 months, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So have you gone down to see what's going on?
No, sir.
All right. So I would start by making an appointment to go down, speak to an officer, see what's going on. If they give you the runaround, if they're not going to schedule you for a second interview, maybe they don't believe it was a real marriage, maybe there's a problem with your background check. If you still get no resolution, because Indianapolis, it's not a big immigration office, so you should be able to speak to somebody there. It's not like in New York City where it's impossible to speak to anybody. So I would go down, try to speak to somebody, go for yourself, see what's going on. If you don't get a satisfactory answer, then the next step would be to contact us, and then we would start to perhaps, as I get into your case more, do a mandamus.
Okay, sir.
All right. So do it on your own, because I don't want to have to charge you unnecessarily. But, Indianapolis, I've never personally been to the immigration office in Indianapolis. I got to assume it's not that big, and they're a little bit more personable than, New York, which is, enormous and, take a number. And go down and speak to them and see. And if you still can't get any resolution, then give us a call.
All right. Thank you so much,
You're
sir.
very welcome. All right. Let's go to Stella in High Point, North Carolina. Stella.
Hello.
Hi,
how are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. I have 2 quick questions.
Sure.
The first question is, my husband went for his interview at the consulate in Nigeria, and he was denied and given the letter 221A4, which is a public charge.
Right.
So what would be the next step?
Okay. We got to see what was the next step would be See what was submitted in terms of public charge provisions. Remember, they're doing new rules now where you have to be able to prove that he's going to have a job, medical insurance, all sorts of things now that they didn't require in the past, or perhaps your affidavit of support wasn't good. The first step is figure out what went wrong, and then the second step is fix it and get back in touch with the embassy before they ship his file back to the States. And then,
so there's a timeline that you have to do it in?
Yeah, I would say a couple weeks before the case gets shipped back to the States, and then you got a big problem. So hold on one second, all right? See, remember we talked about that the new affidavit of support rules are going to affect abroad. So you're going to start you're going to start seeing, squad, calls coming in saying my husband got denied, my wife got denied, my parents got denied because they're not complying with the new rules. The old rules still apply here to adjustment. Let's go to Michelle in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Michelle.
Hi, Brad.
How are
Good
you?
evening. Good. Okay, I'm calling about my sister. My mom petitioned for her back in March of 2015.
Right.
Under the unaccompanied minor child under 21.
Okay. Is she a citizen, the mom, or a resident?
A resident.
Okay. And this was filed in 2015, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Did it get
then
approved?
It was approved and everything, and she got notice from the National Visa Center.
Did she turn 21 at some point, and that's why she still doesn't have a green card?
Yes.
Okay. So if she turned 21, she doesn't have a green card. She's now in the F2B category.
Yes.
They're doing cases in 2012. She's 2015. She's got about another 2 to 3 years to go.
Yeah, no, the thing is, she just received a notice from the National Visa Center to submit documents and stuff. But then she had a baby.
Okay.
So how would we submit paperwork for that baby?
All right. So before you submit your sister's paperwork, which would be basically your mom petitioning for her daughter, you write back to the National Visa Center and say, "Dear sir or madam, the beneficiary, whatever her name is, with this case number, whatever the case number is, recently had a child we would like to include on this case. Here is a copy of the child's birth certificate. Please include this child on the case and send the paperwork and fee bills," because you want the paperwork and the fee bills for this child. Wait for that, so that way you'll get the fee bills for the child too. You'll pay them, and then you'll submit all the paperwork at one time for both your sister and the child, which is the mother and child, so that they come together. Otherwise, the mom will be ahead of the child, and you're going to have a problem.
Okay, so the best thing is to write the letter.
Right, before you start submitting additional documents, and get the child included and get everybody on the same track.
Okay. And then secondly, during all that process, my sister, she had paid everything, the fees, visa fees and everything. She was just, back in 2015, she was just waiting an appointment date back then when they switched it to F2B.
Right.
And then at that time, she had a different passport from a different country. And then soon after, she became a citizen, a British citizen then.
It doesn't make a difference. She's still on the same waiting list. Yes. All right?
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Millicent in the Bronx. Millicent.
Hi, Brad. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm calling about a family member, right?
Yes.
She do a fingerprint, right?
Yes.
And like from about October. And when she check it, they say, "Oh, your case is at the NBC."
Right.
And now, after the 15th of December, she checked her case. The case was up to date to show a fingerprint was taken.
Okay.
So she said the case was up to date to show fingerprint was taken. So she was wondering why it moved from NBC to cases up to date.
It means that the case is processing along. That's good.
Oh,
okay. It goes from, think of it as going on a conveyor belt. You went to fingerprints, then the fingerprints were done. Now somebody reviewed it and said everything is done, the case is up to date. And then eventually you'll get something that says it's ready for an interview, and then eventually you'll get an interview.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, Brad.
Think of it as a conveyor belt. Don't overthink it, but just think of it as a conveyor belt, all right?
All right. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you so
you're
much,
welcome.
Brad.
My pleasure. Thank you. I'm the best. Thank you. I'm glad somebody thinks that. I'm glad somebody thinks that. Not everyone thinks I'm the best. Sometimes people
we
think
do.
I'm number 2 or number 3. But this one thought I was the best.
Number 2 or
Stacy in Washington, how are you?
How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
The form on the USCIS website, it is expired. Do you think it's okay for us to use that form?
The form on the USCIS website is
The
expired?
I-75, when you're applying for your 10-year green card?
Yeah, use the form that's on the website for right now.
Okay.
All right.
My second question is, if I want to get a nanny from Jamaica,
You would
is
have
that
to.
okay?
You can, anything's okay, but you would, if you want to get a nanny to legally work for you, you would have to sponsor them in a job, and it would take about 2 years.
2 years?
Yep. There's no work visa for nanny.
All right.
So,
Could my
so it would be for a
husband-
green card. You would be sponsoring them for a green card.
Could my husband, who is a citizen, file for my mom?
No.
Okay.
So far, 0 for 2. I'm sorry.
Right.
I know
Thank
you want. I know you want your mom to come. As soon as you get your citizenship, that's when mom comes. You can file for her.
All right. Thank you.
All right, okay. Let's go to Cheryl in Hartford. Cheryl.
Hi, how
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Brad. Thanks for my call received. I have a question. I have an interview for myself and my kids next month.
Right.
Do I have to bring the children with me?
If it's for your kids, yes.
It was for myself and them. My husband is filing
Yes.
for...
Bring you. Anyone who's getting a green card has to go on the interview.
Okay.
All
So
right.
will they be questioned as well?
It depends on their age. I mean, you can't question a baby. How much could a
they're-
7-year-old?
they're
How much could a
under-
7-year-old say? You know, but yeah, I mean, they could say, "What's your name?" You know, "Who's your mom? Where do you live?" You know, that type of thing. It depends on their age.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Miguel in Seattle. Miguel.
Yes, hello.
How are you?
I have yeah, good. You?
Good.
Yes, I have a situation going on. I just renewed my green card.
You just got your green card or renewed it?
Renewed because it was a 10-year.
Okay.
And I was just doing like arrested for I did a bad decision.
For what?
And
you arrested? You whispered what you got arrested for?
For a sting operation.
A sting operation.
prostitution.
What was?
Yes.
What were you stung with?
Like prostitution.
Okay, so you were not the prostitute. You were the John who was requesting sex from a prostitute, and you got caught up in all this, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right. Is this your first arrest ever?
Yes.
All right. What's going to happen with the case? Is it ongoing right now? Does your criminal defense lawyer say what's going on with the case? What's going to happen?
Yeah, he told me he's working on vacating the conviction.
They what about the conviction?
He's gonna vacate the conviction.
They vacate the conviction?
He is working to vacate the conviction.
Well, you've already been found guilty?
Oh, no, not yet.
So then you wouldn't be vacating a conviction if you haven't been found guilty. He'd be working to have the conviction dismissed, maybe.
Oh, yeah. He's working
All right.
on
So this is the story. Solicitation of a prostitute, most likely, I don't know the laws of Seattle, Washington, but I'm going to be pretty certain, 99.9%, that solicitation of a prostitute is going to be a crime of moral turpitude, if that's what you're found guilty of. Now, what the law says is that if you're found guilty of one crime of moral turpitude and it happened more than 5 years after you got your green card, it's not deportable. If you are found guilty of a crime of moral turpitude and the maximum sentence is 1 year or less and you did less than 6 months in jail, it's also a petty offense, which will allow you to travel. If it's not a petty offense, you can't travel. You would not be able to become a citizen if you're found guilty of this for at least 5 years or 3 years if you're in a bona fide marriage, if your wife didn't throw you out after she heard all this stuff. Hopefully not. But ultimately, until we know what is going to be the final outcome, and you make no final outcome. If you go to court and the judge says you got to plead guilty, your lawyer says you got to plead guilty, you have every right to say, before I plead guilty, I want to pass this by an immigration attorney so I know what my rights are if I plead guilty. If you're found innocent and the case is dismissed, then God bless you. Apply for your citizenship before you get arrested again.
Okay, and I have one more question.
Yes.
If I like, because I was working for a petitioner for my wife. Is this going to affect the situation at all?
You were sponsoring your wife?
Yes.
As long as you can prove it's a bona fide marriage, your wife's going to find out about this. Immigration's going to tell her for sure. So, she has to forgive you, and you got to prove it's a bona fide marriage.
Oh, okay, but it doesn't affect at all, like, or just like
everything. It affects the fact that maybe they say this is not a real marriage, but I'm sure there's plenty of married men who go to prostitutes. So you wouldn't be the first person in the world. It's the oldest profession in the book, so people go for 3,000 years.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Hold on one second. All right. Where do we have here? Let's see. By the way, don't forget our Instagram contest is coming up very soon, right as soon as we're done answering our questions.
And you have yet to even reveal what it is.
But in today's Spar Bernstein Attorney Close-Up, and we're going to get to answer everybody else's questions who are on hold, so don't hang up the phone. But in today's Spar Bernstein Attorney Close-Up, tax attorney Carmela Waldron tells us about her family's immigration story. Let's watch.
I was born here in Brooklyn. My mother's from Panama, Cologne, Panama, and my father's from Trinidad. So part of my family is from the Caribbean and part of my family is from Central America. So I always say it's the best of both worlds when it comes to food because I like Caribbean and Spanish food. But most importantly, I could empathize with immigrants who come to this country and want to work and support their family, but they have this tax debt. It become overwhelming. And like I said before, taxes, they don't go away. They just get higher and higher. So I am very fortunate that I'm able to help many immigrants like my family in which I can resolve and settle their tax debt and save a lot of money and give peace of mind to many, many of my clients who are immigrants just like my family.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, by the way, I started a watch party. If I'm able to do it and host a show at the same exact time, that's how easy it is. Nobody even realized I did it. So please start your watch party now. I did it. Pizza?
That's right, you did it.
Am I able to do it?
You're able to do it.
While I'm talking.
If he can do it while hosting after a day long of lawyering. Come on, everyone.
All right, let's go to Sam in Dallas, Texas. Sam.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening?
Not bad. Yes, my wife came here in 2018 on a K-1 visa.
Right.
We went through all the steps or whatever, and she's going to receive her green card.
Great.
She's going to receive her green card today.
Wonderful.
But we had a situation where immigration came to the crib. So now on Friday, should we have any problems getting her passport back?
The immigration came to your house. They saw her together. They said everything's good, but they took her passport?
Yeah, they told us to report. We already did it once or twice.
Yeah, so if you approve for your green card, they should give you back the passport.
Okay, so we shouldn't have any problems.
No
Okay.
problem.
Oh, that's it.
All right.
All right, no problem.
All right,
Thank you.
congratulations. All right. Let's go to James in Brooklyn. James.
Yeah, hello, Brad.
How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call, and
My pleasure.
thanks for the good work you're doing.
My pleasure.
I got married to a U.S. citizen about a year and 2 months ago.
Right.
3 months into our marriage, I caught her making out with her baby father. Right.
She was cheating. She had a baby before you were married, and then the man was cheating in the house, and you walked in on it.
Yeah. This is what actually happened. The guy was in prison, so he
He
got
came out of prison, and there he was.
Came out 3 months after into a marriage.
Oh God!
So I back home one day. I caught them, making out.
Right.
Like sex right in the
in your living room. In your home.
So
That's horrible.
and that was not so. After that incident, I caught her again making out with the guy. So I got upset and I moved out of the house.
I don't blame you. I would move out too.
The guy was coming home constantly. So I got scared for my own life.
I don't blame you.
I moved out of the house, and about 7 months later, I realized she was pregnant.
But
Okay,
but
right
it
now,
wasn't. But it's not your baby, I would assume.
It's not. No, it's not my baby.
Right.
Right now, I have an interview coming up in a week time.
You need to do a VAWA case if there was abuse. Otherwise, you don't have it. You don't have a case. She's not going to show up pregnant with somebody else's child, and you're going to have to prove it was a bona fide marriage and there was abuse. I don't know. I'm not hearing abuse. Cheating is not abuse. It could be part of a larger pie of extreme emotional abuse. That could be a portion of it. We would need to talk more. So hold on one second. Let's go to Charles in Oakland, California. Charles.
Yo, Brad Squad, what's up?
What's up, Charles?
What up, Charles?
I don't know, but he was happy. I don't know if I know Charles, but he was
Very
happy. He's very excited.
I have sent a couple of guys to you. I watch you every day while I
thank
drive.
you.
I've almost crashed my car.
Oh my God! Charles, calm down, man.
Oh
Calm down. Don't crash the car over Brad.
I like Charles.
Yeah, look at him with the energy, waking us all up here.
Let's go.
What's up, Charles?
Let's go out.
All right, what's up, Charles? What do we got? What do we got for you?
I've been able to. I sent one of my guys. He was like, "Whoa, man, that Brad guy is good." I sent another dude.
Yeah.
Like, I watch you every day, and he go like, "Whoa, those guys are cool."
Charles is sending all his dudes. That dude, Brad, is good. What's your question, Charles? What's your question, man?
Okay, so I got 2 questions.
What?
And I need your help on this. I'm about to submit my I-864.
The affidavit of support.
Okay? Yeah, and my address on my affidavit of support is different from my current address.
Why?
So, actually, I moved. I was living with my brother briefly.
All right, so you got to put the address. Just change it and put the address where you live now.
Well, I've been trying to change it because the W-2 for this year has already been printed.
But that's fine. If you got a W-2 at the old address, you fill out the I-864 where you live now.
Okay, so there's no problem with the address, right?
No.
Okay, that's number 1.
Now, who are you doing this I-864 for?
Oh, for my wife.
You and your wife live at this new address, right?
No. My wife is still in Nigeria.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, it's fine. No worries.
Okay, that's number 1. So the address is fine. It's different from my current address.
That's fine.
Okay,
yeah, because you moved.
Then, yeah, I moved. So number 2 is what is the new affidavit of support rule that you said? Someone said people are getting denied now. So
That's right.
I don't know what's the new rule.
Well, the new rule is you got to show that you're going to be able to support yourself here with a job, and that you're not going to be able to take any government assistance. So if you are, if you're,
I earn.
1 second. How much you earn?
I earn about over 24 a year.
That's not enough. So
$24,000 a year.
$24,000 a year gives you 125% above the poverty level, but it doesn't satisfy the requirement that your wife. I'm just telling you what the law is. I agree with you, but it doesn't satisfy the requirement that your wife's not going to take government assistance. They do a weighing. You know, if you earn more than $64,000 a year, that would be a positive. If your wife has a job offer, that would be positive. Get her a letter of an offer of employment. If your wife has an education, show her education. That would be positive. If you have medical insurance, get a letter from your job saying that your wife will be included on the medical insurance when she comes. Those are the things that you're going to need to do now.
Well, Wait, so what do I do now? I can't submit just all the regular paper.
You can submit all the regular papers you want. She may want to bring this in to the time of the interview. You may. I don't know where. Have a consultation. Hold on. You need a consultation. Let's go to. I'm not sure who this is. Who do we have here? We have Tanisha in Boston. Tanisha.
Hi.
Hi, Tanisha. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
So my question is, I overstayed my visa, but my mom is a citizen. I tried checking things out, but one of the things that I'm seeing is that there's a penalty for overstaying, like for 10 years. Is there anything around that?
Yes. Let your mom file for you. You're over 21, so you're going to wait 5 or 6 years for your green card. You're going to be out of status all of those years. When the time comes for you to become eligible for your green card, you have to go back home. But before you go back home, you would file something called a provisional waiver. It waives the fact that you overstayed your time here. It waives the fact that you violated your visa status. So when you go home, you don't have that 10-year bar. You do that while you're physically here.
Okay.
So we can help you with all of this. Hold on one second. Let's go to Steve in the Bronx. Steve.
Yeah, good evening.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, so I have a problem with I applied for my kid and then I filled the affidavit of support.
Right.
Yeah, but when I filled the affidavit of support, the US, the immigration say I should do the 864W instead of I-864. I don't know why.
Just do the I-864. That's why the I-864W would be just for somebody with less tax returns. Just do the I-864. You can submit that. That's fine.
No, I did it many times, but they reject it. They reject it because I have a sponsor, and then I have mine.
Well, if they're rejecting it, if they're rejecting it, that means you're doing something wrong. So at that point, I don't know the reason why they're rejecting it until I see exactly what you're doing. You should have a consultation. That's really the bottom line.
They say my kid is under 17 years old.
Are you a citizen?
Yes.
Ah, that's why. You don't need an affidavit of support because when your child enters the United States, the child's going to become an automatic U.S. citizen. So since the child's going to become an automatic U.S. citizen, you don't need an affidavit of support. So that's why you're filling out the I-864W saying it's waived. You don't need an affidavit of support. That's your issue.
Oh, okay. Because that's what they told me.
Yes, because you don't need an affidavit of support because it's the moment your child hits America, that child's an automatic citizen because he's under 18. He's living with his father in his legal custody.
Okay, because I got my citizenship from here. I was not born
I
American.
understand. When your child comes to America, the moment your child comes to America with a green card, steps 1 foot on American soil, goes from green card to U.S. citizen. So that there's never going to be a time when your child's a green card holder. So therefore, no affidavit of support required.
Oh, so the I-64W makes sense, right?
Correct, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Damali in Guntersville, Alabama. Damali.
Hey, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
All right. So I filed my I-130 and my I-485, and I did my biometrics, and I went and got the biometrics done. I was told it takes 90 days to get a work permit. Is that true?
Under the law, it's supposed to be 90 days, but it's right now under Donald Trump, it's about 180.
100 and how much?
80. About 6 months.
Okay.
You just got to hang in there.
Okay. And they sent me a mail saying that they didn't get all the information that was needed, so I sent them what was missing. Okay. And I was just wondering if that
sets you back. So it's 180 days from the time you sent them the missing information.
Okay. All right.
So just
Thank you very much.
Hang in there.
All right.
All right. Let's go to Rona in Rockville, Maryland. Rona.
Well, that's you. Hello.
Hi, Rona. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
So my mother filed for my sister, and we just found out that she has
cancer, and so
Who has cancer? Your mom or your sister?
the sister that they're filing for, and so her papers are coming through. But we wanted to know, is that going to hinder her from coming?
Yes, because we're going to have to show that she's going to be able to get medical coverage with and pay for her medical care without the government paying for it.
Okay, and so she also has a child. Is there going to be a problem? Is it going to make it difficult for her underage child to come?
Yes, because we're going to have to show that someone's going to be able to support this underage child, because the sister with cancer is not going to most likely be working. She's going to go through medical treatment. So yeah, you're going to have a big affidavit of support problem, and that's under the new. By the way, years ago, from Barack Obama would have been an issue, but now with Trump, it's an issue.
Okay.
All right. So I think you're going to need the help of a lawyer to kind of navigate all of this. So hold on 1 second. All right. All right. So that's our end of our call section.
Yes.
All right. I have in front of me. I have in front of me the machine.
The drum.
I have in front of me.
What's your hat?
And your hat.
A new hat.
Is it a new hat?
I don't know, but it's clean, hopefully.
Clean, yeah,
a clean hat. Okay, because, this hat came from a very famous carnival man who gave me this machine. And he said, when you do the machine, you got to wear the hat. Make it official. So I'm wearing my carnival hat. I got my machine.
All right.
By the way, people are wondering, why am I doing this? Because everybody whose name is in this machine followed Bradshaw Live. And they liked our post on Instagram. Follow Bradshaw Live on Instagram. They liked our post on Instagram where I was schmoozing with Brad, and they tagged 5 of their friends in that post. And I said last week, anybody who does that, we're going to put them in the machine and someone's going to get a free consultation. Yo-Yo, you want to be a gentleman and let Pizza do it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Pizza. Who's going to get the free consultation?
You already know who I want to win.
That's why I don't have Yo-Yo. Yeah, you got to open it.
I'm
Pizza.
going to let Yo-Yo read it.
One second. There we go. Throw that in there.
I'm going to let Yo-Yo read, so there's no potential way I could have rigged this situation.
And the winner is
Brad Bernstein. I've got a consultation for myself.
Webley Sher.
Congratulations, Webley. Webley has won a free consultation with me. Webley, what you need to do is go to Bradshaw Live Instagram, send us a DM with your information, and we will get in touch with you tomorrow to set that up. Webley Sher. Hold on to that pizza.
Congratulations.
And for everybody out there, if you did not get your immigration questions asked and answered, I promise you, I do look at my DMs on Instagram. I'll try my best to answer them. Sometimes it takes me a day or two, but I will get to it. And all you got to do is follow me at Real Brad Bernstein. Drop your question in a DM, maybe even like one of my pictures. You don't have to. I'll try to answer it as best as I can. If I can't answer it, I'll tell you to have a consultation. You can also follow us at Bradshaw Live. And by the way, if you follow us at Bradshaw Live and want a free consultation with me, this is what you need to do. You go to Instagram on at Bradshaw Live.
Wait, so this is you revealing the new competition.
This is me, new competition.
New
correct.
competition.
And the new competition on at Bradshaw Live. There is the most recent post getting answers to your immigration questions. It is the question on that, getting answers to all your immigration questions, which was posted 4 hours ago. Do all Liberians in the United States qualify for citizenship? If you like that post, you tag 5 of your friends and you're following Bradshaw Live. 1 week from today on Hump Day, we're going to pull possibly your name out of this machine and give you a free consultation as well. So what do you got to do for the free consultation? Follow Bradshaw Live. Like the post that I am answering immigration questions, and the question that I'm answering in that particular post, which was posted 4 hours ago, says, the question is, do all Liberians in the United States qualify for citizenship? Like that post, tag 5 friends, and we maybe will pull you out of the machine just like we did Webley this week.
What time is the deadline on the 22nd?
What time is the deadline on the 22nd?
Submission, yes.
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
next Wednesday.
All right.
And Pizza and Yo-Yo, do you have anything to promote before we get into schmoozing with Brad? Not schmoozing with Brad, answering your immigration questions. What?
At Brad Show Live.
At Brad Show
And
Live.
for me, at Yonathan Elias TV.
All right, so before we get into social media check-in, I put a compilation of my answers together for commonly asked family-based immigration questions. Let's watch.
Question for a friend. She wants to file for her mom. She's now a green card holder. She's asking if she put it in as a green card holder when she get upgraded to a citizen.
No, you can't put it. Nope, can't do it.
She have to wait until she's a citizen?
Correct. The day she's a citizen, she can put in for mom. You can't file for a step-parent until you're 21. But if you were to marry him before the child turned 18, and then the child turns 21, yes, the child would be able to file for him as a step parent. All right, so your mother, how old is she?
She's 14, 9.
When will she be 50?
August 2.
Okay, is she married?
Yes, she's married.
And your father's not applying for the visa, just your mom?
He also wants to, but the priority is...
All right, so this is what I would say. Does your mom work? Does she own a home?
She don't have a work.
Okay, she doesn't work. How does she support herself?
We send money.
All right, see, that's the problem. Okay, if she was over 50, it's much easier to get a visitor's visa over 50 than under 50. If she was working and she was leaving behind, she was employed and she was leaving behind your father, I would say it's very likely that she would get a visa. The fact that she's not working, she's under 50 years old, they believe that she may not return back to the Philippines, which is why they're not giving her the visa.
I'm a United States citizen and I want to file for my brother.
All right, so you would file an I-130 visa petition. In the I-130 visa petition, you have to show you share the same parents. So how do you show you share the same parents? You have your birth certificate and your brother's birth certificate, and you show you both, the mother and the father, hopefully are the same, or at least you share at least the mother on the same birth certificates, and proof that you're a citizen, and you file it. You're asking me about the Child Status Protection Act and whether your daughter qualifies. What you have to do is subtract the number of days that the I-130 took to get approved from the actual initial visa petition filing date, add that onto your daughter's 21st birthday, and if her priority date was current and she applied for her visa within 1 year of visa availability, perhaps she's under the Child Status Protection Act. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. By the way, Cher Webley, she's making comments. She's going crazy at work. First time she ever won anything in her life. Congratulations, Cher. I'm glad it was with me. You get me for free.
And we'll have all the updates to you tonight.
All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in.
All right, our first one comes from Terry D. Real Slim Ass saying, asking for a friend, can his U.S. citizen wife file for him if she's on disability? He's in the country OOS.
Yes.
They share a house.
The answer is yes. If you're on disability, you can file. It's not need-based government assistance.
From Claudia Stewart, I got my case number and receipt number from my company's attorneys from NBC via my approved I-140 today. My wife's passport is expired in December 2019. However, her expired passport has her 10-year B1, B2 visa valid from 2014 in it. Do I need to give the lawyers my wife's new passport information when she receives it? Her appointment is on January 30th.
Yes, you should go with all your passports, old and new.
Krishna is saying, my sister is in Nepal as a refugee. I'm her brother, U.S. citizen. If I applied a green card for her, how long does it take to get it?
15 years.
Vamunya Fofana, I have 2-year green card. If I file for myself, will it create any problems for me to get my 10-year green card?
If you get divorced and you can prove it was a bona fide marriage, or you can prove abuse in a bona fide marriage, it won't be a problem.
All right, Christian saying, I'm 23 years old, a Norwegian citizen married to the same sex, an LPR in September 2019 and applied for adjustment of status on the 16th of September. I filed the I-130, 485, I-131, 765. I had an RFE that I responded to, and it was received by USCIS on November 20th. So now they asked for proof of U.S. citizenship of the petitioner. Go figure, on December 10th, I asked for an expedite on my advanced parole after the family member back in Norway had a heart attack. So my case history says the request has been completed, but I have yet to hear anything from USCIS. What's going on with my application?
I don't know. Were you in status or out of status when you filed? Was the priority date current when you filed? If they're asking your spouse a U.S. citizen, did you check the wrong box? I'm not sure what you did. I think you sounds like you need a consultation.
Got it.
Fahad Siddiqui says, I got a question for good moral turpitude. Does the immigration officer can look beyond 3 years, even have nothing in the past 3 years, but convicted 5 years ago, married to U.S. citizen?
You could only look past the 3 years or the 5 years for good moral character if there was something in your 3 year or 5 year period that is a nexus to something that happened beyond that 5 years. So, for example, let's say 10 years ago, you had a shoplifting offense, and it was a petty offense, misdemeanor, no problem. And then in this past 3 years, you get another arrest for petty offense, but the case is dismissed. So you say, oh, I have one case dismissed between the last 3 years. Sounds like I have good moral character. But there's a nexus between that and something you did in the past, which was an arrest from 10 years ago. So they can use it to connect the dots and say, bad moral character.
Okay, Classic World saying I have to carry my U.S. citizen wife passport to N400 interview. Oh, maybe do I have to carry my U.S. citizen's wife passport to N400 interview even though I submitted a copy with the application?
No, you don't have to.
Juliet E. says, my husband will be filing for his citizenship January 2020. How long will it take me to file for my green card? My I-130 has been approved almost 2 years. We've been married for 4 years.
You'll adjust your status once he becomes a citizen, which hopefully will be in 6 months, and your adjustment hopefully is 6 to 9 months.
So Nay saying, I have a friend who went for an interview at the consulate in Nigeria, and he was denied and given a letter 212A4.
I think we spoke with them on the phone.
Gotcha.
She had a bad affidavit of support.
All right.
Kofi Yangson, my friend and his wife are living in New York, and they'll be attending his marriage-based green card interview next month. But my friend is working in New Jersey. Please, he wants to know if this will give him problems because he's working in New Jersey but lives in New York.
No. My father lived in New York for 30 years and worked in New Jersey, and he commuted over the GW Bridge, and he came back home to Long Island for 30 years. My father did it, and he was in a good marriage with my mom. Still is. Then you're okay too.
Evelyn Martinez saying, what are the chances of my I-130 being approved for my husband after a voluntary departure being detained in New Jersey for 6 months? They're asking me for more evidence.
A voluntary departure, detained. You're trying to do this on your own, and you're asking me what are the odds? I think you need a lawyer. I think the odds are you need a lawyer.
Get a lawyer.
Joanne Howard asks, hi, this is Joe. I left New York to go to Barbados for my interview. They needed more documents, which I submitted, but I'm stuck there in my case saying administrative processing. How long will I be here?
I have no idea what documents you were missing. I have no idea what you did. I don't know what issues you have.
Give us more, Joanne.
Beats the you-know-what out of me.
All right, Vanish Beckford saying, if someone is going through consular processing, do they have to have health insurance on arrival to the U.S.?
It would be very beneficial to help process through at the embassies abroad now.
Jose Parker says, I have one question. My mother petitioned for me. She's a resident, and I'm in the F2B category, and I'm abroad. My priority date is current now. We already sent all the documents they asked for, but last week my mother's lawyer asked her for my job information here abroad. Is this necessary or normal for the lawyer to use this information?
Yes.
All right. Malkid saying, if someone is married to a U.S. citizen and send in all the documents at once to USCIS, how long should it take to get a receipt notice? And if it's been 5 weeks this week since what should they do?
Look to see if your check got cashed.
Almighty Dean asks, hey, Dr. Brad, how can I file taxes jointly with my pending wife if she doesn't have a Social Security?
You file a W-7 with your joint tax return requesting for a tax ID number, or you give Carmela, our tax attorney, a call in our office.
Give her a call. And our last one for right now is Adebayo saying, my wife is 14 years older than me. Can this affect our interview? She's on Section 8 and forgot our tax paper back home. The interview went well, but we're told we will get they will get back to us in 120 days.
All right. Well, Section 8 doesn't help you. 14-year age difference certainly doesn't help you, but it's of a real marriage, and she can support you 125% above the poverty level. Should be okay.
All right, that's it.
All right. So, we once again sent Yonathan out on the street to test New Yorkers' knowledge, but this time about sports stars. American-born or immigrant? Will you know the answer? Let's watch.
What's good, Brad Squad? It's your boy Yonathan Elias out here in New York City. Football season is warming up, so it only makes sense to play the celeb game. Are they American-born or an immigrant? Make sure you guys play along with us in the comments section while I go and test these New Yorkers out. Jose Canseco.
He's the guy that used steroids, wasn't he? The baseball player.
There you go. Okay, so you know that. So is he American-born or an immigrant?
Oh, American.
I feel like this is a trick question. I'm going to say he's American-born.
American-born or an immigrant?
I don't know what sport he plays.
Baseball.
Baseball. I'm going to say American-born.
American.
Jose Canseco was born in Havana, Cuba. Him and his family left Cuba when Fidel Castro came into power in 1959. Then Jose Sr. lost his job and his home, and they finally settled in Miami in 1965. Now Jose Canseco, that man's a millionaire. The tennis player, Maria Sharapova.
Yeah, she's the cute one.
Okay, yeah. There you go. That's a good way to remember her. All right, is she American-born or an immigrant?
Oh, definitely immigrant.
Is she an immigrant?
Definitely an immigrant.
Yeah, good job. Do you know where from?
No.
I believe she's from Russia.
There you go. Good job. You must like her, huh?
Yeah, she's all right.
Maria Sharapova is a professional tennis player and has been a U.S. resident since 1994. Floyd Mayweather. Money-making team.
He's definitely American, right?
That's tough. But that's American-born right there.
I know you know Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, that's an easy one. From Las Vegas. There you go.
He is an American-born or an immigrant?
No, American.
American-born?
Good job. See, aren't you feeling good?
Get it now. I'm ready.
That boy right there is an American-born citizen. He was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and also born into a family of pro boxers. Danica Patrick, you said you went to school in Florida, so this is racing. NASCAR.
Oh yeah, she's American, right?
American-born or an immigrant?
She an immigrant?
I think Danica Patrick is American-born.
American. I'm from Daytona, so I know about NASCAR.
Danica Patrick is American-born. She was born in Wyoming and also known as being one of the most successful women in open-wheel American racing. Arnold Schwarzenegger, American-born or an immigrant?
I believe Arnold Schwarzenegger is an immigrant.
I know he's an immigrant.
There you go. Do you know from where?
Switzerland.
I know you're going to get this one. You look like a bodybuilder yourself, you know what I mean? Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger, American-born or an immigrant?
Oh, Austrian, immigrant.
I studied abroad in Austria. I know that he's from Linz.
Whoa!
Fact.
Yeah. Good job. I definitely didn't even know where in Austria, but you got that one. He's not only known as the Governator, the Terminator, not only Conan the Barbarian, but before he was just a bodybuilder from Austria. Immigrant. The boxer, Oscar de la Hoya. American-born or an immigrant?
I don't know that one either. American-born?
I feel like I should know this, but he's an immigrant.
He's an immigrant.
He's definitely American. But I know his parents are from Mexico, so I'm Mexican-American, so.
Oscar de la Hoya, also known as the Golden Boy of Boxing, American-born. A lot of you guys didn't know that. He was born in LA like I was, but his family came from Mexico. Basketball now. Tony Parker, American-born or an immigrant?
I don't watch basketball, but I'm going to say he's American-born.
American-born.
Sounds American.
Definitely French. He's from France.
Tony Parker, basketball player. Come on, y'all. He is an immigrant. He was born in Belgium and raised in France. His father, Tony Sr., used to play basketball for Loyola University in Chicago, and his mother was a Dutch model. Babe Ruth, American-born or immigrant?
That's like an American, treasure.
Babe Ruth has to be American, right? I mean, they have a candy bar.
Is he really an American hero, or is he an immigrant?
Well, I don't think being an immigrant disqualifies him from being an American hero. But I don't know. I don't know his backstory. I should. I love the Yankees, but I'm an immigrant.
American.
You want to change that? You good thing you didn't change it. He's American-born. Babe Ruth, although his background is German and Prussian, he is an American-born citizen. He was born in Baltimore, Maryland. Ben Roethlisberger, American-born or an immigrant football player?
Yeah, I know who Ben Roethlisberger is. Ruining my fantasy football team.
Ben Roethlisberger. That's American-born.
Roethlisberger, Ben Roethlisberger. Maybe he's an immigrant?
Immigrant?
I think he's from Ohio, so American.
Oh, okay. Ben Roethlisberger, born in Lima, Ohio, so he is an American-born citizen. Andre Agassi.
If he's a tennis player, he's got to be an immigrant, right?
Andre Agassi is an immigrant?
American-born.
Oh, wild guess, American.
Oh, just a wild guess. Yes, you got it right. He was born in Las Vegas. Good job, man. Andre Agassi, one of the most famous former tennis players, American-born citizen. Even though he was born to Iranian parents, he was born in Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, there y'all have it. That was an amazingly fun game of American-born or immigrant sports edition. I love the fact that we interviewed some guys and girls who thought that they would get every question wrong, but you never know what you actually really know. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, we have 1 minute and 10 seconds in speed round to answer 10 immigration questions. Yesterday, we were unable to do it, but maybe with the power of pizza, we could do it.
Let's do it. I feel good about today.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Now, I don't need to say it because I said it enough. We need silence. Everybody needs to concentrate.
All right.
Okay, you ready? Go.
Sandy says, can you have two I-130s open at the same time?
Yes, you could have two I-130s on only one adjustment. It won't delay.
If my case is vacated, can I petition for my wife? I'm a green card holder.
I don't know what your case is about.
Davina says, what are the requirements for self-sponsorship and how long does it take?
A VAWA case, you have to show you're abused and we're in a real marriage.
If my F2B file petition is applied and I'm here in the USA on F1 visa, can this jeopardize affect my case?
If what was what?
If my F2B file petition is applied and I'm here in the USA on F1 visa, can this jeopardize and or affect my case?
Well, you're on a student visa, so yeah, an F2B takes 5 years, so one's immigrant, one's non-immigrant. You didn't really ask a question. I'm not sure what you're asking.
AJ said, I filed a VAWA and it's still in process. Do I have to be divorced for at
No, you do not have to be divorced.
USCIS sent a letter saying my I-693 is missing. How do I go about trying to call a lawyer?
It's called a medical form. Go to the doctor.
Getting convicted of driving over the legal limit, DUI.
No, it's not deportable. Next.
In 1999, I worked for the petitioner while waiting for H-1B visa approval. Did I work illegally?
If you were not on H-1B status, yes.
Can your employers in the USA sponsor an immigrant that's undocumented?
No. A lot of those questions made no sense. You're asking me nonsensical questions.
Okay, we have one more.
Yeah.
If I became a citizen through the CCA of 2000, why do I still hold a resident card?
I don't know. I don't know. If
All right,
a train is traveling to Chicago at 45 miles an hour, why is the smoke blowing east? I have no idea why. If you're a citizen, you still have a green card.
Man.
Okay. How would I know that? How would I know a lot of those answers?
Well,
okay, I know. Like, I mean, one of the questions was, if I vacate my conviction, can I file for what conviction are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to correlate these questions a little better, I think.
Maybe we can do something where we help teach the audience how to better phrase their questions.
Yeah, because a lot of those questions.
See, the thing is,
you're asking them as right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but I'm trying to answer them quickly.
Right. And with good information.
Yes.
We'll try next time.
All right, maybe tomorrow. Comments of the day.
All right, our first comment of the day comes from Javel Finnegan saying, it's that time of the evening where I stop all what I'm doing and tune in full to the Brad Squad family show.
All right.
Yeah.
Second comment of the day from Jessica Leamy. Ain't no Ain't no Brad Show Live without Brad himself.
That's
He's the
right.
real goat of immigration.
Yeah.
G-O-A-T.
I think it would be very difficult to have Brad Show Live without
It
Brad.
would be pretty bad.
You would just have Show Live.
Yeah.
There would just be, welcome to Show Live, no Brad.
It would be a good show, it just wouldn't be an immigration show.
No answers. There would be no answers to any of their questions.
Yeah.
We will ask
We asked,
questions
yes.
and answer nothing.
Yeah. All right, our third comment of the day comes from K-Stages Fon saying, this is one of my favorite part of the show, the information aspect.
Wow.
Okay,
very
so
nice.
they like that.
They like that, yes.
And our fourth comment of the day. So comedy, politics, and immigration all in one show.
That's how I like to say my show.
That is it.
People always say, what is the show? I
This
go, well, there's a little
person's after your
comedy,
heart.
there's a little politics, there's a little pop culture,
There you go.
there's a little immigration, there's some other law interspersed too.
A little
It's an
bit of everything.
infotainment.
It's an infotainment show.
Yes.
Best show
Yes.
ever. Love this.
And our last comment of the day comes from Sani saying, that's why I love this show and try to make it home on time to watch. Great hearts. Team Uncle Brad.
I like that. Team Uncle Brad
Yeah.
hashtag.
Hashtag.
Why not? All right, we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good job, Pizza filling in. Yo-Yo, good job as
Thank
always.
you.
Good job back in the back. Good job all around. See you Thursday. Why am I slapping? So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.